Bourbon.
Welcome to Booze and Bourbon, the podcast. You have found our video edition. Please join myself, Kim Moser, and my co-host, Jen Taylor, as we talk about all things paranormal and bourbon too.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Hello, I'm Kim from Booze and Bourbon.
And I'm Jen.
And we're your ghostess hostesses with the mostest.
Sure.
But today, we are having a little bit of Irish whiskey. It's actually Bailey's. Because it's St. Patrick's Day.
Ta-da!
Jen is wearing this beautiful green shirt, and I do not have a green shirt in that color, so I'm just in my gray.
We're trying to be festive, though.
We are. So if you haven't listened to our podcast, you should. And if you do, you probably know that we always play a game of Would You Rather.
Yes.
Today we're going to do something a little bit different. So instead of Would You Rather, it's going to be kind of like a game, like kind of getting to know both me and Jen. So, I'm going to go first.
Definitely.
See if this is more likely you or me.
Mm-hmm.
Always wants to play stupid card games.
Ironic, isn't it?
I think it's me.
I guess, yeah. Okay, we'll go with you.
I like What Do You Mean?
I enjoy the games that you bring to me, so we both enjoy the stupid card
really
games.
Funny that came up as the first one. All right, here you go. You pick one.
Doesn't have to be in like any order here, right?
Mm-mm.
Tries to act rich.
Like bougie.
I mean, I think I try to pretend like I'm bougie, but I guess maybe we both do.
Yeah, me with the boat. I try to act real rich with the boat. I hate acting rich, so I don't like doing it, but it is fun from time to time. All right, one
bougie.
Bougie.
Do another.
Oh, I got two. Oh, is going straight to hell.
I mean, I like heat, but like not that kind of heat.
This is one of my
we're
most.
going straight to hell.
I don't think either one of us are, but this is one of my favorite things to say. Is like if I say something mean, I'm always like, "Don't worry, I'm going straight to hell, and I'll save you a spot at the table."
Oh, perfect. Here I am.
Yeah,
here we are.
I saved you a spot.
Thanks. Okay, let's do. I feel like this is a gooder. If I can get it out. Can't help but speak without thinking.
I think both of us are very calculated before we speak.
I feel like we're, yeah. I don't think this really applies to either of us because we
doesn't.
both are very good with our...
We are. We think about what we want to say.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
Well, that was fun.
Yeah. Not as good as our game.
No.
But
you're just going to have to listen to the podcast to get
exactly
those good ones.
Yeah.
But because we're drinking this Irish whiskey,
concoction,
Bailey's cream, and Jen has some Irish roots herself.
Yes.
She has a ghost story for us.
And if I had the accent that I wish that I had, I'd be able to tell it in a better voice. I'm just going to not even try because I try this all the time. Dad's family is from Ballymena, which is in Northern Ireland.
Okay.
And I guess, I don't know if they still do this, but for the most part, back in the day, people, when somebody passed away, a loved one, they would leave them in the house for 5 days.
Okay.
So that people could come from the family to see that person. So more or less like a wake.
I think they call that actually an Irish wake.
Yeah. So a wake, but in your home. And that way they're like, their soul is still in the home and people can come visit.
Have a party with the dead corpse.
Have a drink while you sit there.
Right.
So the house that actually I would have stayed in when I went over there, the grandfather, so my dad's, I'm not even sure. We're just gonna say the grandfather in the home had
a
passed
relative
there.
of your father.
Yes, had passed there. So the kids who were about my age at the time used to complain that they said when you would go upstairs, when they would reach like the 6th or 7th step, where if you looked to your left, you would be in line with like the bedroom door where he would have been. You could see him sitting there, and it would always be cold on that step.
Wow.
So, of course, like, this would have been years and years ago. So I tested that theory, and it was so freaky because you actually would get cold as you went up the stairs, but you would see him in the corner of your eye, but if you looked, like, and turned to look, he wouldn't be there anymore. So it's almost one of those things where you'd have, like, he was just sitting on the edge of the bed, like just sitting. It's almost like he was sitting looking at his feet. So in the corner of your eye, you could see this man sitting here, but then if you actually went to stare at him, he wasn't there anymore.
That is so creepy.
It was a good one. I think it was like comforting to them to know that he was like still just hanging out. Like the kid, they didn't say it in a scary way. Like, and one of the little guys was like probably 7 at the time, and he was totally fine with it. Because Grampy's just hanging out.
Yeah, it was somebody that he was comfortable with, and they do say that children are so innocent that they don't really understand if somebody is dead and gone, or scary because they're dead and gone. So that's really cool.
And the only other quick one would be a castle. There's many of us castles there, and they're all mostly haunted, and they all have banshees, which are different from our ghosts. So they have like loud, squealy yell sounding.
We're not going to pretend to do a banshee, but I can do one.
So she's gonna save that for us for later. So one of the castles is on the side of a cliff, and the story goes like centuries and centuries ago there was a big which was across the dance floor.
Okay.
The floor dropped out of the castle, so the entire thing dropped, and all of those people fell hundreds of feet into the ocean and died tragically.
What?
This one man was left on a windowsill. So you're sitting on the opposite side now. There's no way of you getting back. So you have to choose.
This is
do you decide to like die sitting on a windowsill, or do you just jump and get it over with?
Oh, that
so
is
when
not
you
a
go
good
there to this castle, you can still see him apparently. I didn't get to go there, but they say that you would still see this gentleman just calmly sitting on a windowsill.
Wow. Wow.
What would you do?
Would you rather?
I would just get it over with. I am not ready to sit there for that long.
Yeah, I think I would too.
And really, if you fell asleep, you're just going to fall off anyway, so.
Well, maybe that's what I would do. Maybe I would put myself to sleep and then just like randomly roll over and then be done. And I'd fall up.
But you wouldn't wake up to like the wind blowing in your face as you're rushing towards the water. Anyway, that's my Irish stories for today.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Woo!
Thank you guys so much for joining us on this mini edition, video edition of Booze and Bourbon. If you want to listen to our podcast, there are multiple ways you can find us. Jen, how can people find us?
Instagram, Booze and Bourbon. You can also find us on Facebook, Booze and Bourbon the podcast, the ABV network as well. We are listed under shows.
We are, yes.
And I think that's it.
Well, if you have any ghost stories for us, or you just want to reach out and say hello, you can always email us as well.
Yes.
At boozeandbourbon@gmail.com.